Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
My friend, it is about to be 300 episodes on this podcast here. And I started this journey back in July of 2018. And out of these almost 300 episodes, I have never shared one of my deepest, darkest secrets. You know, we all have a shadow side, a side of us that is not public or not made known to everyone or everybody. And perhaps sometimes that's for the best, but we gotta be real with ourselves, right? At a certain level, we have to understand that vulnerability is a strength and not a weakness. The word lust, defined, is a very strong sexual desire. Lust is a psychological force producing intense wanting or longing for an object or circumstance, fulfilling the emotion. Lust can take any form, such as the lust for sexuality, for love, for money, or power. It can even take on other forms, such as the lust for food, right? But I can think back to when I was 14 or 15, and I saw something quite foreign to me. It was a picture of a naked woman, a lady unclothed, and I don't remember if it was on the internet or in a magazine but at the moment, I didn't even know that this was a porn star. I was in shock, and I was overcome by emotions that I had not felt before. Strange emotions, curious emotions, sacred emotions, forbidden emotions that filled me with a sense of wonder. Now, as time went on, I remember showing this picture to one of my friends at church who questioned, like, why are you showing me this, right? But I almost wanted to have meaning. I was searching for something. Why did this make me feel this way? But it made someone else feel different. There were times when I was so deep in that world as the years went on, always thinking about these feelings, always heading back to them, out of control, not able to control my lust for individuals who didn't even know my name, various women who These were dark times. And I say dark times from my personal experience because, what's done in the dark eventually comes to light in some form or another. Things always come full circle. We can't run from cause and effect, no matter how much we may try to hide. There's no getting past the uncoverings that will unfold in our life when things that we do behind closed doors are brought to the open. So I knew that I had to make a change. I was out of control. I was dodging work just to go and find these hidden pleasures, these urges, sex drive, and just all this pent-up energy that I was just wasting. That could have been better spent elsewhere, to creating something, to designing something, to making something, to imagining, to fueling my destiny, to being an impact and a light on the world. Author Napoleon Hill of Think and Grow Rich has a whole chapter dedicated to the mystery of sex transmutation. I wish I had read this chapter back then. But it does say that the greatest men in history found ways to convert this energy, to transmute this energy into forms that not only rose them to greatness, but elevated all life as we know it. So I couldn't trust myself. It's like the feeling of logging off of social media and going right back in. I knew I wasn't in control. But I allowed this to shape the way my mind worked with women, with life, as neural pathways were starting to be etched into my mind continuously over and over again. I drove myself into guilt and then to shame, where I not only thought and felt I was doing bad things, but I felt and thought that I was a bad person. At the core of myself, I put on a facade around other people, and I pretended. I pretended to be someone I wasn't. Fighting back who I didn't even want to be. As these neural pathways are still just starting to become undone, and it's been a long time since I engaged in the activities of yesteryear. That wasn't too long ago, but was long ago or long enough to know that it's still there in the back of my mind somewhere, waiting to be triggered. I've wanted to not only eliminate but eradicate these sensations from my mind. But if you've done something for years at a time, it's very tough to change. Now I transmute that sexual energy that is neither created nor destroyed. I learned from Sadhguru that if this energy has the power to reproduce a human being, this semen, this energy of lust and sexual desire, just imagine what you could do with it if you transferred and transmuted the energy into some other form. This is a message for anyone who has ever overcome an addiction, who has ever been afflicted with things and felt constricted by things, felt like they were trapped in a prison of their own making, a prison inside your own mind. This is a message for you, my friend, to know that you are not alone, that many, many, many people share this. And have suffered from the same afflictions. But understand that you are not your past. You do not have to reside in guilt. You do not have to be shameful. You do not. You do not. You can rise above it. You can change. You are a spiritual being having a very human experience. But you are malleable. You are mutable. You can change for the better. We are able to sink so low, to hit rock bottom, and even further below, then, my friend, we are able to rise and soar to heights that we can only imagine. Transmute your energy today, my friend. Transmute your energy and know that you are a divine being of infinite possibilities. Thank you for listening to this, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast, here in San Antonio, Texas. The Open Palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray that you received an encouraging message from this episode, allowing you to know that you are not alone, my friend. If you've been afflicted by addiction of any form or fashion, you are not alone. There are others who share this with you, and they are on their own path and their own journey. But just knowing that it's not just you, may it give you the strength to become all you can be, to embrace yourself with love, to be kind to yourself, and to break out of self-torment and self-sabotage. Share this episode with a like-minded individual who is learning and growing just like you, becoming all that they can be. Pay it forward so more can hear this message. And if you would like to support the podcast, I invite you to become a supporter, opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw and supporting it there is always much appreciated. Thank you to all the donations that continue to come in from our wonderful supporters. My friend, be blessed. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.